Hi guys, I'm here with my Dreams and Miracles book by Anne Spangler. We are about done with this book. Don't got too many more stories left to read in it. These are all true stories, by the way. Excuse me. I like the title of, haven't read this yet, of course, because I like to read them with you guys. But the story today, I love the title. Dance in the Rainbow Light. It's by Evelyn S. Nebel. And as always, I will start off by reading you guys the introduction. Evelyn Nebel from Port Huron, Michigan, tells the story of her daughter's dream. About to be married, Patricia dreamt of a special guest who arrived unexpectedly at her wedding. Now we'll get into Evelyn's story. A month before her marriage to Mark, my daughter Patricia was occupied with many activities. In addition to a full-time job, she had many wedding plans to attend to. One thought amid the many that raced through her head occurred with regularity. She wished her grandfather, who had died nearly 8 years ago, had lived to meet her future husband and attend their wedding. Patricia was saddened by this loss, and she loved her grandfather deeply and respected his opinions more than anyone else. It seemed that something important was missing from her wedding plans. One night, with the wedding only weeks away, Patricia fell into a deep sleep and had a dream she described as being as vivid as any event in her waking life. This is how the dream unfolded. Because her schedule was so crowded, Patricia was surprised and a little upset when her mother phoned and asked her to come to Michigan for the weekend. But Patricia did as she requested and was met at the train station by her mother and grandmother. After a short drive, they arrived at a huge mansion of white marble. Patricia did not recognize the place, but her mother said, "We're here." When they entered the grand foyer, she saw there were few furnishings. The tall windows were open, and the sheer curtains stirred gently in the breeze. She followed her mother, who seemed to know where she was going, up the magnificent staircase. "There's someone here who wants to see you," her mother explained. "But first I want you to change into this dress. You'll find this in the bedroom." Patricia entered the bedroom with her mother and found a wedding dress draped over the bed. It was a beautiful gown, reminiscent of her mother's own wedding dress. Puzzled, Patricia said, "This isn't my dress, and this isn't my wedding day. And anyway, Mark isn't here, so there can't be a wedding." Her mother smiled softly and said, "Please put on the dress. Someone is waiting to see you." Then her mother left the room. Patricia did as she was asked. When she viewed herself in the full-length mirror, she was amazed at how perfectly the dress fit. But when she turned to look at the back of the dress, she realized she was no longer alone. Her beloved grandfather had appeared and was seated in a big white armchair across the room. He looked as if he had before his illness, trim, gray-haired, distinguished, but dressed for a wedding in a white suit. A luminescent aurora surrounded him, and as Patricia viewed him through the haze of light, she cried out, "Grandpa, what are you doing here?" She ran to him, and he stretched out his arms to embrace her. They hugged, and then she sat on his knee. "I wanted to be with you for your wedding," he explained, "but this was the only time I could come. I wanted to tell you I love you, and I am happy for you. You see, I do know Mark. He loves you very much. I approve of the marriage." Patricia felt warm and happy. She didn't question what had happened, but simply basked in the joy of it. As suddenly as her grandfather had appeared, he was gone. Patricia felt no sadness, only a sense of peace. Her mother returned to the room. "Come," she said. "They are waiting for us." The mansion, which she had been empty, was now filled with family and friends. Everyone followed her mother down the staircase and out onto the patio and into the garden. It was a beautiful sight, with green trees and flowering bushes dazzling in their colors. The wonderful celebration began. There was music and dancing, food and drink. People were laughing and talking happily. Then it began to rain. It was a downpour. Everyone ran indoors, everyone, that is, but Patricia and her mother. They joined hands and began to spin as children do when they play. They spun in circles on the wet grass. Each raindrop seemed to turn into a jewel and gave off a sparkling light. The sparkling lights radiated thousands of tiny rainbows, and the women danced in the rainbow, smiling, but not speaking. There was no need for words. Patricia's dream ended there. One might say it was brought about by an overly emotional state of mind, and that she was simply a sensitive young woman with premarital jitters. Perhaps, but perhaps not. Patricia believes God gave her dream as a gift. I strongly believe a divine intervention took place. The Bible tells of many dreamers with whom God interacted, and surely God has not stopped communicating in this manner. If only we believe, then we might see and hear. Each time I think of Patricia's dream and my role in it, tears well up in my eyes. They are not tears of sadness. Who could be sad when moved by the Spirit to dance in the rainbows, hand in hand with a loved one in this world and in the world to come? And that was Evelyn's story. Evelyn Nebel's story, Dance in the Rainbow Light. I thought it was a really good story. How about you guys? So that was today's story, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye, guys. God bless.